So let's set the stage. It's the early 16th century, and India is this vast, fragmented land with various regional kingdoms. And then, out of nowhere, comes Babur.
Oh, yes. Babur, the first Mughal emperor. He arrived in 1526, didn't he, with the Battle of Panipat?
Exactly. Babur, who was actually from modern day Uzbekistan, had this fascinating lineage. Descendant of Timur on one side and Genghis Khan on the other. Quite the legacy, eh? Huh?
Oh, definitely. But you know what's interesting? Babur didn't just invade India for its wealth, although, let's be honest, that must have been tempting. He also saw India as a land full of potential, culturally and economically.
Spot on. And the Battle of Panipat in 1526, that was a game changer. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi, marking the beginning of the Mughal Empire. It's crazy to think about how a single battle reshaped Indian history.
Oh, totally. But Babur's contribution wasn't just military. He brought Persian culture, art, and architecture with him. Remember his autobiography, the Baburnama?
Yes, of course. Baburnama is such a treasure. It's like a diary where Babur pours his heart out about everything, his battles, his love for nature, even his homesickness for the mountains of Central Asia.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he write about India being a land of riches but also complaining about the heat and dust? Haha, very relatable, right?
Haha, absolutely. He was very candid. And then came his son Humayun, who, let's be honest, had a bit of a rough time holding on to the empire.
Oh, yes, Humayun, the comeback king. I mean, losing the throne to Sher Shah Suri and then reclaiming it, that's some serious resilience.
No kidding. But you know what's more interesting? Humayun was the one who brought Persian influence into the Mughal court in a big way. His exile in Persia introduced the Mughal dynasty to Persian art, literature, and culture.
Oh, absolutely. And that Persian influence really blossomed under Akbar, didn't it? Now there's a name that needs no introduction.
Oh, Akbar the Great. Where do we even begin? His reign was a golden age. He wasn't just a conqueror. He was a visionary.
Right. I mean, his administrative reforms alone were groundbreaking. He introduced the Mansabdari system, which ensured a more structured and efficient governance. And let's not forget his religious tolerance.
Oh, yes. His famous policy of sulh-i-kul, which means universal peace. Akbar was way ahead of his time, trying to bring together people of different religions. He even had those debates at his court in Fatehpur Sikri with scholars from Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Jainism, and even Zoroastrianism.
Oh, those debates. Can you imagine being a fly on the wall during those discussions? It must have been electric.
Aha, for sure. And Fatehpur Sikri itself is a marvel. Built entirely in red sandstone, it was a planned city that showcased Akbar's architectural genius.
Oh, yes. And speaking of architecture, can we talk about Akbar's successors? Jahangir, who had this deep love for art and nature, and then Shah Jahan. Oh, Shah Jahan, the man behind the Taj Mahal.
Ah, the Taj Mahal. Just saying the name gives me goosebumps. It's not just a monument, it's a love story in marble. Built in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, it's one of the greatest architectural achievements in the world.
Absolutely. But the Taj is just the tip of the iceberg. The Mughals gave us the Red Fort, Jama Masjid, Humayun's tomb. The list goes on.
And it wasn't just about buildings. The Mughals were all about the arts. Miniature paintings, poetry, music. They brought a cultural renaissance to India.
Oh yes, the miniature paintings, the detail, the vibrant colors. It's mesmerizing. And let's not forget their contribution to food. I mean, Mughal cuisine is legendary.
Haha, oh yes. Biryani, kebabs, kormas. It's like a symphony of flavors. The Mughals truly revolutionized Indian cuisine.
They really did. And you know, their emphasis on education was also remarkable. Akbar established schools and libraries, and they weren't just for the elite. Education was seen as a way to strengthen the empire.
Exactly. The Mughals weren't just rulers, they were nation builders. They shaped India's identity in so many ways.
Absolutely. But of course, no empire lasts forever. The Mughals did face challenges. internal conflicts, weak successors, and eventually the arrival of the British.
Oh, yes, the British. That's a whole different story, isn't it?
Definitely. And we'll get into that in the next episode. For now, let's just take a moment to appreciate the legacy of the Mughals.
Agreed. So, to sum it up, the Mughals gave us a rich cultural heritage, groundbreaking innovations, and a legacy that continues to inspire us to this day.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, folks, that's it for today. Tune in next time as we dive into the arrival of the British and how things started to change dramatically.
We'll be back soon with more exciting discussions, so stay tuned with Westferry Times for our next episode. Trust us, you won't want to miss it.
And if you found today's podcast insightful, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Let's keep the conversation going and spread the knowledge.
And as always, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring history with us.